Good evening, brethren. Thursday night at the Right, we are honored to be joined by our Sovereign Grand Inspector General of the Orient of Minnesota, Mr. Tony Krall. Thank you for being with us tonight. Now,
Good to be here.
normally we refer to this as 5 questions with a white hat. This is a slightly different variation because of said office that you hold. And just to start out, the question that maybe many have never had a chance to hear about in your background, what brought you initially down the path of Freemasonry?
Well, for me, it was very simple, a logical extension of my DMLA experience. I joined DMLA in Wisconsin in 1972, and as a 13-year-old, my dad had joined Lodge and didn't give me the option, but told me I was going to join DMLA, give it a chance. I did, and became a lifelong commitment.
Mhm.
And so, the most influential men in my life, other than my father, were my DMLA advisors. And so, I went through till I was 21, joined Lodge at 18, but never finished. My Lodge in La Crosse that supported my DMLA chapter assigned me a mentor. It was mouth to ear at the time. And my mentor went away to divinity school. I went away to college. They never reached out. So when I came to Minneapolis to go to law school, I looked in the phone book for DMLA in Minnesota and called up to volunteer. And I did that for a year or two while I was in law school. And then I was told that I'd be a better DMLA advisor if I joined Lodge. So then I petitioned Minnehaha Lodge, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And from that, how long were you involved in Blue Lodge before you ultimately went and signed a Scottish Rite petition?
Well, uh, not very long, and I wasn't real active in my Blue Lodge. I was joined Masonry, and within a couple of years, I joined the Scottish Rite. And to be honest, I joined the Scottish Rite because I wanted to join the Shrine. I happened to walk into the law office where I was a law clerk at the time, and a man was there, one of the second highest partner in the firm, and he was studying a blue book, and I knew what that was. And so I asked him, I said, John, are you, is that a cipher? Are you joining Lodge? And here he was looking to join Lodge. And a few years later, he joined the Shrine. And of course, he told me we should join the Shrine, not together because he joined before, but I joined. And to do that, you had to become a Scottish Rite Mason or York Rite. I chose the Scottish Rite, mainly because my grandfather was a Scottish Rite Mason. But for years, I was not active at all.
Wow. That's... Now, those that know you've been involved in Kadosh. That is your favorite. We're all partial to perhaps the internal body in which we participate. But it's always fascinating to me that everyone has that first degree they participated in that wasn't necessarily, which it may not have been with Kadosh, it may have been a Lodge of Perfection. What was, to your recollection, what was the first degree in the Scottish Rite that you participated?
Well, I know it exactly because I'm still in the degree. It's the 26th degree, the junior deacon part. And it was a small degree, a small part, nice degree. And I was asked by Hank Gillenblad if I would take a part. And I took it, and I've done it ever since when my schedule allows. It's something I don't ever want to give up. It's a easy part. It's a great degree, a good group of guys. And, I don't know, I've been doing it for 20 years, I think.
Love it. And the longevity of so many of these roles is really what keeps all of us coming back. And at some point when you need an understudy, I will volunteer Terrence for that position. As you are now, here you are, fast forward to now, there's Sovereign Grand Inspector General. Is this something you could have ever anticipated looking back, thinking someday, where will my Masonic journey take me? Is that what comes to mind?
Yeah, not that, certainly. I joined the Scottish Rite to become a Shriner. I was active in the Shrine for a while, then slowed down a little bit and started coming back to the Rite. And what drew me to come back to the Scottish Rite was the philosophy. I love the philosophy and the teachings of the Scottish Rite. And I came back a couple of times and I found myself getting hooked. And as is often the case, I also got tagged to be the attorney for the Valley and to do some work for then S.G.I.G, Jerry Oliver. A lot of it kind of back office stuff. But I would still come around, still watch the degrees. And I had decided at one point I wanted to go on my lodge line and get that experience. And at about the same time, Dave Olson asked me to be on the Kadosh line, and I got appointed to the Zura Shrine Divan line. So I went through all three bodies at the same time.
You have truly done it all. A past potentate of Zura, your DMLA involvement is ongoing, clearly as S.G.I.G. What does the rest of the year look like for you as far as travel? Are you back to DC with Grand Commander Cole, or what else do you have on the docket right now?
Yeah, it's interesting. We don't get together in DC except once every 2 years. So unless he summons me to fire me or for some sort of a special project, we do our meetings by phone, by Zoom. I'm working now on a jurisprudence committee and some insurance stuff, various things. And so the travel masonically would be to, other Grand Lodges or whatever, but nothing real imminent in the next 6 months or so.
Well, it is so great to be back and be in person and to be meeting every Thursday like we were pre-COVID. A lot of things we all took for granted we're certainly appreciative of now. But thank you so much, Sovereign Grand Inspector Tony Krall. Sovereign Grand Inspector General, it is a pleasure to have you with us on 5 Questions with a White Hat, and in this case, an even more special version of that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.